Buying a used BMW motorcycle is high-stakes mechanical roulette. Land right and you get German engineering that cruises past 150,000 miles. Land wrong and you inherit a rolling financial disaster that drains your account and leaves you wondering why you did not watch this video first. First half, the 6 to avoid. Exact years, exact failures, exact costs. Second half, the 8 undisputed must-buys. Number 1 is a machine so well built that master technicians seek it out for their own garages. Avoid number 6, 2001 to 2006 BMW R1200RT. We open with a braking system so overcomplicated that it still haunts the used market 20 years later. Traditional hydraulic brakes work on a beautifully simple principle. You pull the lever, fluid moves, the caliper squeezes, the bike stops. BMW looked at this system and decided it needed a massive electric servo pump under the fuel tank. 1,130 cubic centimeters, air and oil-cooled boxer twin. The servo-assisted integral ABS3 pump is the part pointer. Your brake lever does not push fluid anywhere. It sends an electronic signal to that servo pump, which then pressurizes the system. When the pump works, you get extraordinary one-finger stopping power. When the pump burns out, or when the battery drops even slightly below optimal voltage, the system fails into what BMW called residual braking mode. 15% of normal stopping force on a 600-pound touring bike at highway speed. Replacing the pump costs over $2,500 in parts and labor alone, which totals the value of these bikes entirely. Some owners attempt to bypass the system and run direct hydraulic lines. It is a complex, frustrating conversion that requires specialist knowledge. These machines run $2,000 to $3,500 on the used market, and that price point exists for a very specific reason. Walk past them. Imagine standing in front of a bike you want, the seller swearing it's perfect. That's where riders overpay by thousands on a $10,000 bike. Our buyer's kit tells you what it's really worth, your fair price, and when to walk away. A wrong bike costs thousands. This kit, just $49. The easiest money you'll ever save. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Let's get that bike you've always wanted for even cheaper. Losing your brakes is a nightmare. Up next is a machine with a different speciality entirely. It destroys its own engine from the inside out every single cold morning until something finally breaks. Avoid number 5, 2005 to 2008 BMW K1200S. BMW built this to challenge Japanese dominance in the hyper-touring market and make the 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘𝗧𝗢𝗕 inadequate. They succeeded in making something fast. They botched the cam chain tensioner in the process, and the engine pays for that mistake every time it starts cold. 1,157 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled inline 4. The hydraulic cam chain tensioner is the part pointer. This tensioner relies entirely on active oil pressure to keep the timing chain taut. When the bike sits overnight, gravity bleeds the oil out of the tensioner reservoir. Hit the starter button next morning, and the chain is slack, slapping around inside the casing until oil pressure finally builds back up. This happens every single cold start without exception. Eventually, the plastic chain guide shatters from the repeated impact. The slack chain jumps a tooth on the camshaft sprocket. The engine goes out of time. The pistons smash directly into the open valves, and the entire top end is destroyed. A $3,000 to $4,500 repair on a machine that costs $3,500 to $5,000 to buy. As if that were not enough, the 2005 and 6 models also have clutch baskets that disintegrate under hard use and send metal fragments straight through the oil galleries. If you find one listed cheap with a description that mentions minor engine noise on startup, that noise is the chain guide giving you its farewell speech. It will not last much longer. An engine that self-destructs on cold starts is one thing. What comes next takes BMW's greatest selling point and turns it into the problem. Avoid number 4, 2013 to 2021 BMW R1200GS water-cooled. Shaft drives are supposed to be BMW's gift to motorcycle owners. No chain to lube, no sprockets to replace, no maintenance outside of an annual gear oil change. For decades, that was the truth. Then BMW designed the liquid-cooled GS paralever swing arm without a drainage hole. and thousands of adventure bikes quietly turned into rust experiments. 1,170 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled boxer twin. The drive shaft splines inside the sealed paralever housing are the part pointer. When BMW engineered the new liquid-cooled chassis in 2013, the swing arm had no ventilation or drainage at the bottom. Adventure riders, which is the entire target customer base for this machine, rode through rivers, streams, and mud. Water bypassed the rubber boot and pooled inside the housing, and the splines just sat there submerged in it. The steel splines rusted, seized, and eventually sheared off entirely under load. Zero forward drive, stranded. BMW issued a service campaign to retrofit a duckbill drain valve, but thousands of private market bikes missed the work. These run $8,000 to $14,000 on the used market. Before paying anything, pull the rear rubber boot and shine a torch inside. Rust on those splines means you negotiate a massive reduction or you walk. Rusted drive shafts leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere, and that is infuriating enough. What comes next is somehow more maddening. Avoid number 3, 2014 to 2016, BMW R1200RT water-cooled. This is one of the most infuriating repair stories in modern motorcycling. Not because the failure is dramatic or dangerous, because the part that fails costs $350, and accessing it costs $3,000 in labor. 1,170 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled boxer twin. The internal stator sandwiched between the engine block and transmission cassette is the part pointer. On the old air-cooled boxers, the alternator sat on the front of the block behind a simple plastic cover. If it failed, you swapped it in your driveway in 30 minutes. BMW moved it inside the engine for the new water-cooled generation, embedded between the engine block and the transmission, inaccessible without a major disassembly. These stators run hot and burn out their windings. The battery stops charging, the dash lights up like a Christmas tree, the bike dies. The replacement part is $300 to $400. The labor is $2,500 to $3,200. Because to reach it, the mechanic removes the swing arm, drops the entire engine from the frame, and splits the engine in gearbox cases. At $150 per hour for 15 hours, the math is not kind. These bikes ask $8,000 to $11,000. Skip them unless you have documented proof the stator was already upgraded by a BMW dealer. The specific years to avoid are 2014 through 2016. From 2017 onward, BMW fixed the stator cooling architecture, and that machine appears later as a must-buy on this exact list. A $300 part buried inside a $3,000 labor job. And you know what? At least that problem just leaves you stranded. The one coming up can actually cause a fire. Avoid number 2, 2008 to 2012, BMW F800GS. The middleweight adventure segment is supposed to represent simplicity and ruggedness. The early F800GS looked that part. Under the seat, it was hiding a cracking plastic fuel tank directly above a hot exhaust pipe, which is not a great combination. 798 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled parallel twin. The under-seat plastic fuel tank mounting brackets are the part pointer. BMW placed the tank under the seat for a low center of gravity, a clever engineering choice. The execution on 2008 to 2012 models was the problem. The upper rear shock mount transfers massive stress into the tank brackets under hard off-road use. The plastic develops hairline cracks near the mounting bolts. Raw fuel leaks from those cracks directly onto the hot exhaust pipe. Replacing the complex molded tank means stripping the entire rear subframe assembly, a job priced between $1,100 and $1,500. The early F800GS also runs an unvented flywheel that cooks the engine stator approximately every 20,000 miles, adding another repair on top. These run $4,000 to $5,500 used. If you are set on one, pull the seat before you put any money down and inspect the tank brackets and subframe mounting points with a torch. Any evidence of fuel staining around those brackets means you put your wallet away and leave. Cracking fuel tanks are dangerous, but at least easy enough to spot on inspection. The one at the top of the avoid list is harder to catch. It makes a noise, but most buyers do not know what they are hearing until it is already too late. Avoid number 1. 2019 to 2020, BMW R1250GS. Shift cam is brilliant technology, a sliding camshaft that switches between a low-lift lobe for tractable low-end torque and a high-lift lobe for screaming top-end power in the same engine on demand. When BMW first shipped it in 2019, the surface hardening on the cam lobes was wrong. 1254 liquid-cooled shift cam boxer. The camshaft lobe surface hardening is the part pointer. The shift cam shaft slides horizontally across the cylinder head at high speed, and the cam followers ride directly on those moving lobes. On 2019 and early 2020 models, the factory hardening process left the metal too soft. The friction gouged and scored the cam lobes within 10,000 miles, creating a loud metal-on-metal ticking, dropping power, and sending fine steel particles circulating through the oil. These models also suffered from weak transmission input shafts that could snap under sudden off-road torque spikes, locking the rear wheel. BMW replaced scored camshafts under warranty and issued software updates, but there are hundreds of these bikes on the used market right now, sitting between $12,000 and $15,000, waiting to fail on a second owner who does not know what they bought. Do not roll the dice on a first-year shift cam, and here's the inspection that tells you everything you need to know before any money changes hands. Pull the oil filler cap and look inside with a torch. If the oil on the internal surfaces has a metallic silver sheen instead of normal dark amber, metal particles are already circulating, and no price negotiation is going to fix what is happening inside that engine. The frustrating part is that these bikes ask for $12,000 to $15,000 on the used market, which is not cheap. That price exists because the Shift Cam GS is desirable. It does not mean the particular year you are looking at had its warranty work done. Always verify before money changes hands. Enough disasters. Here are the 8 BMWs you can buy with total confidence. Must buy number 8, 2017 to 2018, BMW R1200GS Adventure. Remember how we just told you to avoid the water-cooled GS because of stator explosions and rusted drive shafts? BMW heard the same complaints and quietly fixed most of them for the 2017 model year. Same fundamental platform, a transformed ownership experience once you know what changed. 1,170 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled boxer twin. The transmission judder damper on the output shaft is the part pointer. BMW added this in 2017, and it cured the clunky tractor-like shifting of the early water-cooled models entirely. The stator cooling architecture was fixed. The 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘𝗧𝗢𝗕 swing arm got proper ventilation to protect the drive shaft. The dynamic ESA suspension became significantly more reliable. At 570 pounds, the GS Adventure is not a light machine, but the horizontal cylinder design puts the weight low, and once it is moving, it handles with a composure that surprises every first-time rider. $11,500 to $14,500 used, a significant price for what is now a sorted, modern long-distance platform that has shed its early problems. The fixed, water-cooled GS Adventure, the machine coming up makes an even more compelling reliability argument. Police forces worldwide trusted it for 12-hour daily shifts, 365 days a year. Must buy number 7, 2017 to 2020, BMW R1200RT. Police departments do not buy motorcycles based on brand loyalty or magazine reviews. They buy based on service interval predictability and the ability to run all day without breaking down. The fact that highway patrol fleets around the world overwhelmingly chose the RT and continued choosing it for years is a reliability endorsement that no manufacturer can fake. 1,170 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled boxer twin. The telelever front suspension is the part pointer, a frame-mounted triangular wishbone attached to a central shock that separates braking forces from steering forces entirely. Grab a fistful of front brake in the middle of a corner, and the front end stays flat and composed rather than diving toward the pavement. Your confidence in emergency stops increases immediately. The 2017 update brought the same mechanical fixes as the GS. Sorted stator, sorted transmission, proper swing arm ventilation. The weather protection is outstanding enough that you can ride through heavy rain and stay mostly dry. Used prices have fallen to $9,500 to $13,500. A machine that cost $23,000 new is now available for the price of a decent used car with fleet-grade reliability built in. The 2017 to 20 window hits the sweet spot. Late enough to have all the water-cooled fixes, early enough to be priced as an opportunity rather than a premium. If you regularly knock out 600-mile days, this is the weapon. Police-grade touring reliability in a machine that looks almost sensible parked outside a petrol station. Picture it. You buy the bike. It looked clean. It sounded great. 3 weeks later, the bills start. A worn chain, tired forks, a service the seller never mentioned. That's thousands gone. on a bike you already paid full price for. Our inspection checklist catches every one of those before you pay, walking the bike like a mechanic. Spend $49 now or lose thousands later. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Don't let a hidden problem drain your wallet. Up next is the middleweight we savaged in the avoid section, and we are about to explain why a single model year update changed everything. Must buy number 6, 2013 to 2017 BMW F800GS. We told you to avoid the 2008 to 12 F800GS for cracking fuel tanks and burning stators, and that stands, but the 2013 update fixed both of those problems and turned this into an excellent used buy. That is not a contradiction. That is BMW actually listening to their customers for once, which happens rarely enough that it deserves acknowledgement. 798 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled parallel twin. The 21-inch spoked front wheel is the part pointer for what makes the GSA capable off-road. Proper dirt bike diameter front wheel that rolls over rocks and ruts with confidence rather than deflecting off them. For 2013, BMW redesigned the flywheel housing to allow engine oil to flow directly over the stator, curing the burnout issue permanently. The subframe mounts were reinforced. The engine is Austrian-built Rotax, notoriously understressed at 85 horsepower, and these motors cross 100,000 miles on oil changes and periodic valve clearance checks. The Adventure version adds a reinforced subframe and a 6.3-gallon fuel tank that gives it genuine long-distance range. $6,000 to $8,500 used, the most affordable entry point into proper adventure capability on this list. The redeemed middleweight, same name, different machine. Coming up is for the rider who needs the adventure ergonomics but refuses to compromise on outright performance. Must buy number 5, 2016 to 2019 BMW S1000XR. What happens when you take the engine from a superbike, 160 horsepower, 11,000 RPM redline, and install it in an upright adventure touring chassis with a comfortable seat and wind protection? You get a machine that has no honest equivalent and makes every other sport tourer feel slightly apologetic about its performance numbers. 999 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled inline-4. The Shift Assist Pro up and down quick shifter is the part pointer, instantaneous clutchless upshifts and downshifts at full throttle, with the gearbox perfectly matching RPMs on the way down so the rear wheel does not snap sideways. By the 2016 model year, BMW had fully resolved the connecting rod issues from earlier S1000RR engines. The K49 architecture in this state of tune is rock solid. There is a slight high-frequency handlebar buzz at 5,000 RPM that some owners notice, though fitting heavier bar end weights fixes it in 10 minutes for under $50, the kind of fix that takes longer to describe than to actually do. $9,000 to $12,500, used for one of the most entertaining sport tourers ever built. The kind of machine that makes experienced riders grin at motorway on-ramps because they know exactly what is about to happen. 160 horsepower in a touring chassis, the XR is proof that getting older does not have to mean slowing down. It can mean riding something faster with better weather protection and not telling anyone how fast you were going. The machine just ahead goes in an entirely different direction, built for the rider who wants to cross 3 state lines before lunchtime and arrive totally relaxed rather than totally wired. Must buy number 4, 2018 to 2023 BMW K1200GTL. The K1200GTL is the closest thing to a luxury car that the motorcycle world currently offers. 6 cylinders, 1,649 cubic centimeters, an engine so perfectly balanced it does not vibrate at any speed in any gear. Sitting on one at highway speed feels less like riding a motorcycle and more like being transported by a very fast, very quiet machine that has strong opinions about your comfort. 1,649 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled inline-6, producing 129 pound-feet of torque. The duo-lever girder front suspension is the part pointer. It isolates road harshness so thoroughly that BMW owners describe motorway riding as gliding. Leave it in 6th gear at 35 miles per hour, roll the throttle, and the 6 cylinders respond without a single stutter. No downshift required, no drama, just smooth, instant forward motion. Early 2012 to 15 models had weeping water pumps and tracking issues. By 2018, both were resolved. $13,000 to $18,000 used on a machine that costs $28,000 new. BMW is currently the only manufacturer in the world producing an inline-six motorcycle engine. And once you spend a few hours on one of these, you start to feel sorry for everything else on the road. The GTL variant adds additional passenger comfort infrastructure, a larger top case, improved pillion accommodation, and additional storage compared to the standard GT. For solo riders, the GT is the better handling machine. For two-up touring, the GTL justifies every one of its extra pounds. Six-cylinder, luxury touring, the machine for people who have stopped apologizing for wanting the best. What is coming up next is for the exact opposite type of rider. The one who looked at all this technology, all these screens and cooling systems and complexity, and said, I want none of it. Must buy number 3, 2014 to 2023, BMW R9T. BMW identified a significant group of riders who actively disliked the direction their bikes were going. Too many screens, too many cooling systems, too many things to go wrong. So BMW dug into their own heritage and built them a machine that looks like it belongs in a 1970s garage and runs like the thoroughly modern motorcycle it actually is. 1,170 cubic centimeters air and oil-cooled cam head boxer twin. The modular bolt-on rear subframe is the part pointer, 4 bolts, and it comes off entirely, converting the machine into a custom single-seater in your own garage with basic hand tools. BMW designed it specifically to enable personalization. No radiators to puncture, no water pumps to fail, no coolant lines to crack. The engine rocks gently from side to side when you blip the throttle at a standstill, a physical sensation unique to the transverse boxer that R9T owners describe as soul, and everyone else experiences once before immediately understanding why cam head owners are so specific about their machines. $8,000 to $12,000 used, with a 31.7-inch seat height and an aftermarket that treats this platform as a blank canvas. And because it shares the cam head engine with the GS and RT, parts availability is the same as the most popular BMW adventure bike in the world. The modern analog classic for riders who want their motorcycle to feel like a motorcycle rather than a software product. Just ahead is a machine that was on the avoid list earlier in this video, and we are going to explain exactly why a later production year changes that conversation entirely. Must buy number 2, 2022 to 2026, BMW R1200GS. We spent considerable time warning you about the 2019 and 20 shift cam engines. We are not telling you to avoid the technology. We are telling you that once BMW fixed the camshaft hardening, the 1250 engine became one of the most impressive adventure power plants available at any price. 1,254 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled shift cam boxer. The shift cam variable valve timing system is the part pointer, and by 2022, it works exactly as BMW intended. Massive tractor torque at low RPM for crawling over boulders and navigating tight trails. Screaming top-end power for triple-digit motorway overtakes. Both in the same engine, on demand. The paralever swing arms got proper factory duckbill drain valves, protecting the drive shafts that plagued earlier water-cooled models. $17,500 to $22,000 used, the upper end of this list's price range. But you are buying the current pinnacle of GS engineering without stepping into the first-year risk of the entirely new R1300GS architecture. The R1300GS may be the future. The 2022 to 26 R1250GS is the proven present. This is the machine the GS was always trying to become, the perfected shift cam, the machine the GS was always trying to become. Imagine walking into a viewing holding all the cards. You know the fair price, you know your opening offer, and you know the exact number where you walk away. That's how you knock hundreds, even thousands off the asking price. Our buyer's kit hands you those numbers for just $49. Negotiate from facts and never overpay again. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Right away, knowing you got the best deal. And now the one on this entire list that every independent master technician already has an opinion about, because a lot of them went out and bought one for themselves. Here is why. And saving the absolute best for must-buy number 1, 2010 to 2013 BMW R1200GS Cam Head. Before BMW started chasing horsepower records to answer KTM, before liquid cooling jackets, before enormous touchscreen dashboards, they built this. Master technicians worldwide The people who have seen every single failure mode on every BMW ever built consistently describe the Cam Head GS as the most reliable, owner-friendly motorcycle BMW Motorrad ever produced, which is not the kind of statement those people make lightly or without evidence. 1,170 cubic centimeters air and oil-cooled 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘𝗧𝗢𝗏 twin. The 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘 radial valve arrangement is the part pointer. In 2010, BMW upgraded the hex head engine to the Cam Head, adding dual overhead cams taken directly from the HP2 Sport Racing program. It revs more freely, breathes significantly better, and makes a healthy 110 horsepower while remaining the most mechanically accessible BMW boxer ever built. Here is why master technicians buy these for themselves. The alternator sits right on the front of the block, driven by a simple rubber belt. It fails? You replace it yourself in 15 minutes on the side of the road. The magnesium valve covers come off with 4 bolts. Check your valve clearances in your own driveway in 30 minutes with a standard feeler gauge set. No water pump, no internal stator requiring engine disassembly, no shift cam mechanism, no specialized diagnostic computer required for any of it. $6,000 to $9,500 on the used market for a machine where 150,000 miles is not a milestone. It is basically where the engine starts to feel properly broken in. The people who own these know exactly what they have, which is why clean examples disappear within hours of being listed and why finding one requires either patience or luck. This is the one. Find it, inspect it, and buy it immediately. One practical note, the Cam Head GS and RT are mechanically almost identical from the engine outward. Both share the same parts ecosystem. If you prefer the upright adventure ergonomics of the GS or the full-fairing touring stance of the RT, the mechanical argument for ownership is identical. Choose based on how you ride, not on any perceived quality difference. There is none. BMW engineering, endlessly rewarding when it works, and highly unforgiving of ignorance on the used market. Continue the ride and click on the next video showing on your screen right now to learn the buyer's guide that helps you save hundreds or even thousands of dollars on your next motorcycle.